is my home, Mother Earth is my home. Mother Earth is my home, Mother Earth is my home. I'm a child of the one, and Mother Earth is my home. Mother Earth is my home, Mother Earth is my home. Mother Earth is my home, Mother Earth is my home. I'm a child of the one, and Mother Earth is
His Excellency Major General Michael Jeffrey and Her Excellency Mrs. Marlena Jeffrey, Senator Conchetta Fierravanti-Wells, Liberal Senator for New South Wales, representing the Honourable Fran Bailey, MP, the Honourable Barbara Perry, MP, Minister for Juvenile Justice, representing the Honourable Maurice Yemma, MP, Premier of New South Wales, dignitaries, guests, and of course, finalists. It is an honour to host the 2007 Ethnic Business Awards. Now, I want you all to consider this. Every 3 minutes and 11 seconds, a new migrant arrives to our shores. From 1996, the numbers of permanent migrants to Australia increased by a staggering 72%. Around dinner tables across Australia this evening, 1 out of every 4 families will speak a language other than English. With 1/4 of our population born in a country other than Australia, we can proudly say Australia is uniquely the most culturally diverse nation on the planet. Tonight we celebrate these business owners while recognising a wide network of corporate and government partners who endorse and promote multicultural Australia. Our major sponsors include the NAB, who have been a sponsor since the inception of the Ethnic Business Awards 19 years ago. MBF, a leading Australian provider of health insurance and lifestyle management, and the Department of Industry, Tourism and Resources, whose key role is increasing prosperity for all Australians through internationally competitive and sustainable business. And for the first year, we're pleased to announce a truly first-class corporate sponsor, Emirates, who have sponsored the 2007 Initiative Award, and Chiavello, former winners of the Ethnic Business Awards. Now, this year marked the launch of the Global Media Partner Program, a network of like-minded media who endorse and promote the Ethnic Business Awards. The Bulletin magazine also came on board this year, and we also welcome along leading media outlets, including Chao Dong, the Vietnamese daily paper, Sing Tao, the Chinese newspaper, O Cosmos, the Greek newspaper, El Telegraph, the Lebanese newspaper, Sydney Korean Herald, Indomedia, the Indonesian newspaper, the Philippine Community Herald, Express Wieczorny, the Polish newspaper, the Indian, which is the Indian newspaper, and Austral Radio, the Spanish radio station. And to ensure that our message is read, heard and seen far and wide in 2007, the Ethnic Business Awards is sponsored and will be aired on 8 networks, including SBS, which has aired the awards since 1988, we're pleased to say, TVB, the Chinese network, the Aurora Channel, community television, internationally to 45 countries on the Australian network, which was formerly known as ABC Asia Pacific, and thanks to World Media International, added exposure on RAI, Italian TV, Antenna Greek TV, LBC1 and Art TV servicing Arabic communities. Now, Tony Ishak, the Managing Director of World Media International, is a major sponsor of the 2007 Ethnic Business Awards, and he has transformed a niche market.
Australia is, it's a great place because the diversity that we have, it allows for a lot of different things to occur. We do have a large base of the Australian population that was born somewhere else or speaks another language, And that's important in the mix of things because, you know, it allows people to appreciate each other a lot more. World Media International was basically set up to service foreign language markets. We started off in 1996 with 3 channels. Now we have like 11 and we're growing to another 14 by the end of the year. So we've been able to adapt the service to the particular audience, and in particular to an Australian ethnic audience. It's no longer a niche market anymore, or it's no longer an ethnic market. They call it ethnic TV and stuff. It's not. It's become that significant now that it is another type of a market that has a significant amount of viewers. Well, this has become a market within itself, and now we look to try and see what we can do for future generations to create a longevity in the business. You know, and that's what makes Australia so great. You know, and it allows you to be able to exercise all these ideas and all these concepts and different content and so on and so forth to a very diverse population. And so what we've been able to do, we've been able to reinvigorate people's interest in the language of their parents or their grandparents and the culture and so on. And that's important, and that allows for assimilation, and that allows for people to understand, you know, children to understand their parents.
40 years ago, Joseph Asaf began his journey from a small town in Lebanon to the shores of Sydney as a new migrant. With no money, no family, and only a suitcase in hand, Joseph had a vision. His idea was to build a bridge of communication, cross cultures, pioneering what we know today as ethnic communications. He stands today as a leader in promoting peace and tolerance amongst our nation's communities. As founder of the Ethnic Business Awards, Joseph knows the journey well. These awards are a testament to his ingenuity, creativity, persistence, and belief in the core foundations of multicultural Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming to the stage Mr. Joseph Asaf.
Your Excellencies, honourable members, sponsors, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, all our wonderful finalists tonight, good evening. Wang Shang Hao. Buenas tardes. Masal al khair. Bonsoir. Shalom. Buonasera. Dobry wieczór. Chunachista. Men Shang Hao. It gives me very great pleasure to welcome you to the 19th Ethnic Business Award presentation dinner. I want first to thank Their Excellencies, Major General Michael Jeffrey and his wife, Marlena, for once again joining us. They are fast becoming an integral part of the multicultural family that gathers for these awards each year. Another vital part of that family is, of course, the sponsors and the judges of these awards. I thank them all for their continued support, but in so doing, must express special thanks to the National Australia Bank for their commitment from day one. Their involvement over the whole 19 years has been an enormous credit to them, and I'm sure they take a great deal of a pleasure from being associated with the longest running business awards in the country. All of us, wherever we may be from, are about to discover that the enterprise of our finalists encompasses many kinds of endeavor. There is the export of natural Australian and New Zealand pharmaceutical products to a vast and rapidly growing Asian market. There is the age-old skill of making beautiful bread, sitting alongside the development of cutting-edge technologies in DNA fingerprinting and in the medical diagnostic equipment and facilities. There is also the construction and sale of designer real estate and the training of guard dogs that could well be used to protect it, along with the design and manufacture of exquisite rugs that might happily grace its foyers and apartments. Diversity creates unity. That unity, born of diversity, creates opportunity. The opportunity to explore and interact, and in so doing, create further opportunities. Multiculturalism is Australia's competitive advantage in the global marketplace. It is a resource. Our wealth of languages is a resource. Our range of cultural sensitivities, a resource. Our worldwide connection to many birthplaces, a resource. You see, there really is a resource boom in Australia, and it is not just coming from the bottom of a mine shaft. Whatever the outcome, I want to assure each and every one of them that in having genuinely and courageously embraced the multicultural experience, they are all winners. Thank you. And now, it is my great honor to introduce Australia's 24th Governor-General to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency Major General Michael Jeffrey, Your Excellency.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Joseph, to you and to Angela, to Your Excellencies. But it is a tremendous pleasure for Marlene and me to be once more attending the prestigious Ethnic Business Awards ceremony. As Australians, we pride ourselves on our ethnic diversity, our innovation, our entrepreneurship, and of course, excellence. And it's these very qualities that are celebrated tonight through the Ethnic Business Awards. With nearly half the Australian population either having been born overseas or with a parent born overseas, we are amongst the most culturally diverse nations in the world. And the exceptionally harmonious and tolerant society we enjoy today is one of the great success stories in our nation's development and increasing prosperity. Each ethnic group has made a distinctive and valuable contribution to our cultural vibrancy and to our business and commercial life. But in recognising that, I sometimes wonder whether more can be done by these substantial migrant groups to increase not just business and trade linkages with their former homelands, but perhaps to encourage more joint research partnerships, student scholarships, and various types of cultural exchanges. Well, ladies and gentlemen, these awards encourage us to recognise and celebrate the contribution to Australian business of people born overseas. By recognising the achievements of outstanding individuals and firms in this way, you encourage all Australian business people to strive for similar success through your example of excellence, innovation and competitiveness. I know that our awardees also recognise the advantages they have received in belonging to one of the world's oldest democracies, with stable and effective government, a good education system, and the ready availability of abundant natural resources. And I know that in their various business ventures, they will be alert to preserving our wonderful but fragile natural environment and in ensuring the efficient use of our precious water, energy, and other natural resources. I wish the finalists every success with their future business activities, thank all those who have supported and contributed to this outstanding event, and now take great pleasure in declaring the 2007 Ethnic Business Awards open for business. Thank you very much.
Thank you to His Excellency and to Joseph. In Australia, small business is the cornerstone of our economy and the foundation of our ongoing national prosperity. The small business finalists honoured here this evening are paving unique paths, redefining the role of small business within major industries and establishing unprecedented global innovation. And now to the first category of the evening, the small business category, including businesses with a turnover of $5 million or less. SA Industrial Services.
I grew up in Morocco, and when I finished high school in Morocco, I went to France and got a chemical engineering degree. I decided to get a business education and went and got my master's in business from MIT in Massachusetts. I came to Australia first, being sent by a multinational I was working with. I was immediately comfortable in Australia. The gut feel and the chemistry were immediately right. And maybe it's because it looked like Morocco in some respect, you know, the plants were the same. After the first time we were there, the first 3-year assignment, when we left Australia, everybody missed Australia a lot. My children, my wife and myself. So we kind of made it a target for us to get back somehow. Finally, I'm at the stage where I'm in Australia, I'm an Australian citizen, and I'm running my own business. Our business at SA Industrial is to clean ducting in ventilation systems. Core reason for customers using our service is they have to meet certain Australian standards, which are primarily fire prevention standards. Our customers are fast food chains, large fast food chains, and big hotels in the city. Any facility that has commercial cooking, like RSL clubs, factory canteens, etc. What I appreciate the most about running your business is you're accountable. You focus on quality, you run things according to a process, and you try to be predictable and consistent in what you do. You know, what is the true cultural background of Australia? You know, it's hard to define. I'm a citizen of other places, and I'm the proudest of being an Australian citizen.
Ladies and gentlemen, Andre Killian.
Was brought up at the time of socialistic rule in Poland. There was not much in terms of wealth, there was not much in terms of diversity of foods, not too many options, but there was a good education. Because of the concern of environmental pollution in the area where we lived, I went to the school to study biology, and after majoring in genetics, I went on to do PhD in population genetics, dealing with environmental protection and improving health of environment. Diversity Arrays Pty Limited as a company is pretty much a vehicle to deliver diversity arrays technology. The diversity arrays technology is a method of analyzing DNA in the most cost-effective and high-throughput manner. It's the technology that does basically the same as any other DNA fingerprinting technology, and DNA is extracted and then subjected to analysis that provides a unique fingerprint of a person that maybe did the crime. So our technology does the same, but uses a new novel method that I invented about 8 years ago. The technology is primarily used by plant breeders, and also by geneticists. Most of our clients use this technology for genetic improvement applications or genetic analysis. I must say that being a business person for me is increasingly more exciting than just being a scientist, because I increasingly recognize that science without delivery pipeline is dry and not delivering any social and environmental benefits. As part of my humanitarian work, I advise a project funded by Gates Foundation that is improving agriculture in Africa, and there is a $1 billion plus investment scheduled to reach Africa over the next 10 years. And my role is to advise the program that is developing the new plan, how to achieve it in the context of technology and genetic improvement area. So that gives me a lot of boost and excitement, seeing a social impact and humanitarian impact that our technology may have. I was recognized for the invention of diversity arrays technology, being selected as one of the top 10 scientists in Australia by Microsoft and Bulletin Plebiscite. Being able to be recognized in the new country at this level was a big surprise.
Ladies and gentlemen, Fred and Luana Osmani.
We're both migrants from different countries. We were given the opportunity to come to this country. We've been married 30 years. One of the things that when we first met, we had very much so in common. We loved the animals, we had a passion for animals. What we have is a school where we train protection dogs to protect families or businesses, and we also have the pets. That's all the domestic, like people that have got problem dogs in their family, like they might have a behavioural problem. We also have a transport company, national and international. We have a grooming section of our business, so it's pretty much of a full training and facility complex for dogs. In the 30 years, our dogs have had a very positive impact on the community. A lot of people come to us because they've just been either broken into, they've had very bad experiences with crime, so they come to us as a last resort to sort of try to reconstruct their lives. What we do, we just make sure that they are looked after and they feel comfortable about having a dog. And it's very easy to do that part because, I mean, first of all, we've got faith in our dogs, and secondly, we know that these dogs will help these people.
I really love to deal with the animals, and plus I love to deal with people. But so I am proud because when I deal with dogs, especially sometimes I deal with some sort of very difficult dog, which is, difficult dog. Nobody can train this country, but I succeed.
We've been able to achieve a lot in this country because of our hard work and our passion, really, and that's what has brought us this far.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Carl Munoz Ferrada.
It's a very early age, possibly 17 days after I was born. I was in a different country. That built up my personality, that I became a citizen of the world, basically. Then in the late 80s, I decided to do a postgraduate course and a PhD in science. I went to Lund in Sweden, and I did specialization in medical instrumentation. And that was basically the start of everything for me. That made it the start of developing technology. When we consider that in Australia we got approximately 13,000 new cases every year of breast cancer, the stage of the person's lymphatics and nodes connecting to the tumor, and then in surgery with the Gamma Pro we can actually chase the position that the lymphatics juices are leaving the tumor and moving into the nodes, and identify which node is the connected node to the tumor. The Gamma probes is used in about 700 hospitals overseas, in 95% of the hospitals in Australia. It makes you feel happy when you go and talk to patients. They say thank you very much for developing the apparatus, the equipment. It made me feel that I need to explore in other areas. After the 9/11, seeing the images on television and what actually happened, I said, well, where can we help? Where can we participate in this? Where can we see a niche for our technology? And I explore what we have done with the Gamma Pro, the Ostro-Rat, the nuclear medicine area, And we decided to extrapolate that technology to 1,000 times bigger. We got radiation detectors now that they are 2-3 meters high. We can detect cosmic radiation. We can detect a possible source being at 200 meters from where we are. We have radiation detectors that they can be installed in weather stations to detect a possible nuclear detonation in Pakistan, here in Australia. Okay, so we got that capability. What it drives me is the mystery which is behind science, the mystery behind medicine, the mystery behind many things that we don't know. And so what is driving me is basically the unknown, because it cannot be answered to anything else. Not knowing what is happening on the other side of the door is always a question mark.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now enter the medium to large business category for businesses with a turnover of $5 million and over, sponsored by the National Australia Bank. Ladies and gentlemen, the extraordinary Therese Bacara.
I came to Australia in 1950 with my mother, my brother and 2 younger sisters. It all looked strange to me. I was only 5. The surroundings were also different. I came from a town in Blauza in north of Lebanon, up in the mountains near the Cedars, and of course Ryde, the city of Ryde, looks a little bit different. In 1975 there was an economic downturn and the family was suffering with that, and that's when I decided it's time for me to go out and do something for myself. And I worked really hard in selling and leasing out properties and creating a portfolio. I think I was doing extremely well, and I figured that I can do it. I went to the bank first of all. I said to the bank, you've got my records, you know how well I've been saving, how well I've been doing, you know me, and you know that I know what I'm talking about. Now I need the money to build this block of land which I found in Camaray. And he looked at my feasibility and said, yes, it all looks well, but 500,000, I think I need your husband's guarantee. I refused. I really wanted to do it on my own. I thought I'll go and try the gas company. I called them and I said, I've got this block of land. I showed them my feasibility, took them out to the site. They loved what they saw. They liked the plans that I gave them. And I said, well, if I use gas, hot water, heating, you know, would you be interested? And of course they said yes. I sold that $500,000 block for $3.1 million. And of course, that was very good grounding for me to just go for it. Landria Construction specialises in high quality apartments. We do the multi-million-dollar apartments and we do the Department of Housing work. We are proud of what we do. We build what people can live in. So we take particular care on designing kitchens, the right bathroom, the right colours, the size of the bedrooms, the proportions, the aspect. Yes, and I think that makes us unique. When I go past a building that I've done and I see people there, I see removalist trucks coming and going, I think, I've made that all possible. It's a great feeling. My biggest contribution to Australia would be literally the fact that we have created hundreds of jobs for a lot of people. So I think we haven't done too badly for Australia.
Ladies and gentlemen, Carl Yee.
We grew up in a really poor village in middle of China. I'm very lucky, to have the opportunity to go to the university. Actually, when that time only about 3 to 4% high school students, have a chance to go to university. Then after the university, I went to another very famous university for master degree. So also called the International Economic Information Analysis. Yeah, I arrived in Australia, in 1994. So when I tried to apply for a job, especially to the pharmaceutical company, which I found from a yellow page. I sent the CV one by one, but very few of them, replied to me, and even replied, all of them is basically just declined for my application. Then I think I had to maybe do something myself. I did a lot of research and started from the marketing research, know which products will be popular in Asia, in Japan, in Korea, in China, and which products available in Australia. So we start from the bee products, which I think is very popular in Asia. When more and more this is demanding, so I realized I may need my own factory. Well, just start from one people company in the home office until now we got a multinational company, employ nearly about 160 people. We do have a multinational network, so that's maybe the first one in the industry here. So we have one factory here and one factory in New Zealand. So our New Zealand factory maybe is the largest factory in the industry in New Zealand. And we have a company in Hong Kong, company in Beijing, a head office in Sydney. So this network proved to be very benefit to the business, so it's working well. And even before, when I in the village, cannot imagine I can go this far. Australians, they say you are entrepreneur. Even at the beginning, I don't know what that means, entrepreneur. I say how spell it. So when I check the dictionary, I realize, yeah, I'm that kind of person.
Next up, we have designer rugs.
I came originally here from Israel as an expatriate. And as you know, Israel is a very vibrant country, a country which has the meeting of the East and West, a lot of history. In my childhood, in my younger years, I used to paint a lot, and this was part my interest in creativity and in colors. I worked for a big international company for 20-odd years, and then I came to Australia. And I thought that in Israel there are 30 factories of the kind we have here now, and there are none in Australia. Israel has no wool, and Australia has so much wool and so much design talent. And I thought that the colors of Australia with the vibrant society is ripe for primary colors. We would like to create the Australian rugged look, which represents the Australian way of life. I approached my bank manager and I said, what do we do about it? He says, Ellie, if you give me your house, you can have a loan. Our house was riding on the business, and we worked for a year, we produced for a year, and we couldn't have any sales. So as a result, we opened the shop in the Rocks. My son, my wife, and myself were working in it, and we actually worked 7 days a week, very often 10, 12 hours a day. Now we have 4 stores, 2 in Sydney, 1 in Melbourne, 1 in Brisbane. We have a representative office in Adelaide, and in November we are opening a shop in Auckland, New Zealand. This is a rug we made for the Pope's visit, and this rug was ordered from the Philippines but could not be supplied on time. So they approached us and asked us if we could produce it, and of course we could. And here it is, the rug on the frame before it's made, and the Pope praying on it in St. Patrick Cathedral in Melbourne. We reach a stage now where we cooperate with Australian designers, with Australian interior designers. We'll see that we have rugs with Akira, who is a fashion designer, and Dinosaur Design. And we have a following of people who are interested in Australian design and Australian fashion translated into Australian interior design. And as a person who lived around the world over the years, I think I'm very happy to be here. I won't change it. I won't replace Australia with anything.
Next up, we have MEB Foods.
I came to Australia in 1969. When I started working as a welder, working during the day, and then after I finished that work, I go direct to the other work, working in the bakeries, for another long shift, which is 8-hour shift. I used to work day and night, have 3-4 hours sleep to be able to achieve my goal. I managed to rent a small bakeries, and we used to bring up our kids. We have a room, extra room on the top there. We have to put the kids in there, and then my wife used to work with me. What we do, we get into a unique product which is called pita bread. The Australians love the product so much. The beauty about Australian people that they like to try another food. We start with a small bakery, as we said, and then because the market is growing and growing, we move to another bakery which is bigger. From that bakery, again, it became too small after a while. We decided to go to this place here and build this factory, 11,000 square meters, to be able to supply the market. Because I'm an engineer, it's allowed me, through working in the bakeries, to think and invent some machineries to give me the quality which I'm looking for. My product is in the major supermarkets, health food shops, fast food, restaurants, everywhere. We do exporting to Asia, Singapore, China, Malaysia, India. I'm building another 2 production lines to be able to compete with the Australian market first. My next step and my dream to build another factory in every state in Australia. The beauty about this country, it's up in the way, it's up in the door for you to be something. It helps you, where no other countries can do that for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, each year these awards symbolise the successes of a country rich with cultural diversity. Every man and woman honoured here this evening, like thousands before them, have benefited from the uniquely Australian spirit of acceptance, tolerance and a fair go. We are a nation that proudly stands as one of the most free and fair democratic countries in the world, supporting a world-class business climate. Tonight's stories stand as an example of the calibre, creativity and ingenuity of business owners across Australia. And I'm happy to announce that tonight the winners of the 2007 Ethnic Business Awards will receive $5,000 in cash, 2 return business class tickets with Emirates anywhere on their global network, a year's subscription to the Bulletin magazine and a handcrafted crystal trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite Senator Concetta Fierravanti-Wells, Liberal Senator for New South Wales, to the stage to present the Small Business Category Award winner on behalf of the Department of Industry and Tourism and Resources.
Thank you, Your Excellencies, my parliamentary colleagues, members of the Diplomatic Corps, to Joseph and Angela Asaf and other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to be here this evening representing the Honourable Fran Bailey, MP, Minister for Small Business and Tourism, at this most important night for ethnic business in Australia and to present the Small Business Award. I'm especially proud to be here as I am the daughter of one of those migrants that came to Australia with an old suitcase that we have mentioned before. My father too came with a lot of dreams. And like many migrants to this country, he worked very hard. He made sacrifices and built a life for himself and for his children. These awards acknowledge Australia's cultural diversity and recognise the very valuable contribution that people with different cultural backgrounds make to our economy and to Australian society as a whole. The Howard government recognises that our national strength and prosperity is underpinned by our unique and social fabric. This is why we are so proud to sponsor and support these awards. We recognise the benefits that cultural diversity brings to all Australians, and we believe that businesses that pursue excellence, embrace innovation, and are continually seeking new and better ways of doing things are truly worthy of recognition and adulation. And so on behalf of the Howard Government and Minister Fran Bailey, I would like to offer our congratulations to all the finalists. And to you all, simply by being here, you have shown the determination, the drive and the excellence to reach the top of your fields. Congratulations and thank you. And the winner of the small business category is Gamasonics.
Look, Your Excellent Major General Michael Jeffrey and Mrs. Jeffries, Spanish Ambassador Antonio Cosaro, Mr. Joseph Asaf, we're happy to do what we're doing. My wife, which is a medical scientist, joined me 18 years ago, and I could not have done it without her. She's my friend and my best partner. So I really thank you all. My work is not finished. I had done something for the female population, but every man here and myself is a candidate for prostate cancer. That's my next job. You want to say thank you?
And now for the medium to large business category winner announcement, I would like to invite to the stage the Regional General Manager, Corporate and Private Banking from the National Australia Bank, Joseph Healy, to announce the winner.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for inviting me to share a few words on behalf of the National Australia Bank. And like many of you, I find the Ethnic Business Awards an inspirational occasion and a great opportunity to celebrate the successes of so many amazing Australians. Looking around the room, I can see stories of the challenges and achievements written across the faces of all of the entrepreneurs here tonight. Many migrants arrived in Australia with nothing more than a suitcase and a dream. And despite the obstacles and challenges, they started business with years of hard work and often with a loan from a bank, hopefully from a loan from the National Australia Bank. But from a bank that believed that they could turn their dreams into a success. Time and time again, National Australia Bank sees the same migrant businesses becoming a part of the backbone of this very successful Australian economy. We believe that your dreams and the dreams of your families before you are shaping the future of this country. Some of you may be daughters or granddaughters or grandsons from generations that arrived in this country to build and have taken the mantle of your parents and your grandparents and continue to build on the success that they passed on to you. And some of you, of course, took the risk yourself to start businesses and have built businesses, and from the stories that we've heard so far this evening, have done such a fantastic job in bringing innovation and inspiration to the way that they look at particular needs that we have in our society. It's a very inspiring journey, and it's one that we are very proud to be part of. For over 150 years, National Australia Bank has been supporting businesses in Australia, and including, as already mentioned, the strong association with the ethnic business community. If you've partnered with us, you'll have a good sense of how passionate we are and how we see our primary goal to help businesses fulfill their dreams and deliver on the promise and the energy that goes into building businesses. We like to think that we connect and support with people in building those businesses. It takes real vision and fortitude to turn a good idea into a successful business. And we're honouring some of those businesses here this evening. One or two times this evening it's been mentioned that we've been associated with this particular forum since its inception, and we're very proud to be associated with the successes. This is very exciting. The winner of the medium to large business category is Landria Construction.
Their Excellencies the Governor-General and Mrs. Jeffrey, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, I would like to thank the sponsors and organisers of the Ethnic Business Awards for providing a forum to showcase the success of Australians who have migrated to this country and for celebrating their contribution to Australia. To be awarded Ethnic Business of the Year is truly a great honour and made greater by the calibre of my fellow finalists here tonight, who I believe each deserve recognition for their achievement and contribution to the Australian economy and society. I am very grateful to my parents who chose Australia as their new home for our family all those years ago. I would also pay a special tribute and thanks to the hundreds of people who have worked with me over the years, and many have become my extended family. This is very much a family business, and it is with all the members of the Landria family that I share this award. Thank you again to the sponsors and organisers and business awards for this honour and for the great evening. Thank you.
And now for the Initiative Award. The Initiative Award is awarded to a finalist who has shown exemplary innovation, a relentless spirit in the pursuit of success, and demonstrated creativity and ingenuity in the marketplace. All finalists from the small and medium to large business categories are eligible for the Initiative Award. And joining us this year as a first-time sponsor of the Initiative Award is Emirates. As one of the fastest growing airlines in the world and renowned for its exceptional quality and service, last year Emirates carried over 17.5 million passengers worldwide. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the New South Wales Sales Manager for Emirates, Mr Tim Harrowell.
Thanks, Lisa. Your Excellency Major General Michael Jeffrey and Mrs Marlene Jeffrey, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honoured to be here this evening at this prestigious occasion, and I could not help but feel that the Initiative Award is one that is so appropriate for Emirates to support and endorse. What we have heard tonight are legacies of incredible life journeys from members of a global community, now all proud Australians who took what we say in the aviation industry as the kangaroo route. And that journeys are something we at Emirates know a little about. From humble beginnings just over 20 years ago with one leased aircraft, Emirates has grown very quickly to become one of the largest international airlines in the world and the top 3 most profitable in the world. The brief from the Dubai government was very simple. We need an airline, it must look good, it must be considered the best in the world, and it can never make a loss. How much money do you need? And the answer was 10 million US, and with one leased aircraft, we did it. There have been no subsidies ever since. The government said, furthermore, we will not provide any aeropolitical protection, and the skies of Dubai will remain open to all competitors. Good luck. Despite the challenges that face the aviation industry, particularly in the last few years, Emirates has consistently returned record profits to our owners, and we've now won over 300 international awards for service excellence, including an unprecedented 3 years in a row of the best airline in the world. We now fly to 96 cities in 64 countries, and a couple of weeks ago we launched flights from Dubai to Brazil and became the first airline in aviation history to launch flights non-stop from its home base to every continent around the globe. Emirates is proud to honour all the men and women celebrated this evening. All of these finalists began with an idea and had the unwavering tenacity and courage to step forward in diverse markets with integrity, dignity and persistence. These are the journeys that Emirates is proud to support. And with no further ado, the winner of the 2007 Initiative Award is Meb Food.
I would like to express my great appreciation to who all contributed in the success of MEB Food, including the dedicated staff who are a great and reliable team. I'm extremely proud of their efforts. I would like to also thank my family, my friend, who have encouraged and supported me through this lengthy journey of mine. I want to thank this remarkable country, Australia, which has given me the opportunity to follow my ambition and achieve my dreams. If there is one circular lesson I have learned from this endeavour, which I would like to share with you as motivation in your own lives, it is to always strive for better and never settle for anything less than perfect. You can achieve anything if you believe and work hard enough. Your words will be rewarded. It's been a long and hard journey with many ups and downs, but at the end of the day, the award of recognition like this, that makes all worthwhile. Thank you all.
Well, we've come to the end of the evening. Also, many thanks to our major sponsors, the NAB, the Department of Industry, Tourism and Resources, MBF, World Media International, Emirates. From Sydney, Australia, I bid you a very good evening.
My name is Mohammed Haddadi. I'm from SA Industrial Services, and I'm proud to be a part of the Ethnic Business Awards.
My name is Andrzej Kilian. I am from Diversity Arrays Technology Pty Limited, and I am very excited to be a part of Ethnic Business Awards.
Hi, we're from the Guard Dog Training Centre, and we're really excited to be part of the Ethnic Business Awards.
Hi, I'm Cal, and this is Vivian, and we are from Gamma Sonics.
And we're excited to be a part of the Ethnic Business Awards.
Hi, I'm Therese Bishara from the Landria Group, and we're very proud to be part of the Ethnic Business Awards.
Hello everyone, my name is Carl Ye. This is my wife Sonia Wang. We both come from a company called GMP Pharmaceutical. We are very proud to be one part of the Ethnic Business Award. Thank you.
I'm Eli Tal from Designer Rugs, and I'm very proud to be associated with the Ethnic Business Award.
I'm John Hayla from MEB Food with the rest of the families. I'm proud to be with the Ethnic Business Award.